Just who the hell do you think you are?
I'm sorry, sir, but it's your fault what happened in the tavern.
What? My fault? You can't be serious. Whose fault is it that we're in this fucking pillory?
What? Who started quarrelling with the locals in their tavern? You should have listened to me and calmed down.
And let him insult me? Fat chance. If it hadn't been for me, we wouldn't have even been in that tavern. We've been in the shit right from the start because you had to play at being the knight in shining underwear, saving damsels in distress.
I don't believe it. You're trying to put the blame on me? Just like that?
Who else is to blame? You're just a simple peasant who has no idea how the world works.
Oh, and our little prince knows all about it, doesn't he? You only left your uncle's a week ago. All you've known up to now is a tavern on Rat-Eye Green.
Now you've gone too far. I've had it up to here with you. With you and your pontificating. You were supposed to make sure nothing went wrong. And how did that turn out? It was me who had to save your life. You're fucking useless. You couldn't even keep an eye on your own mutt.
Oh, that's enough. This isn't getting us anywhere. I understand you're downcast after all that happened to us. And I understand you need to take it out on someone. I can take it. But we shouldn't forget we have a job to do. And do it we must. Together.
That's exactly what I'm doubting. Everything goes to shit when you're by my side.
You don't really mean that. Calm down.
I'm perfectly calm. That's it. My life went to shit from the first moment I met you. And I've only just realised it. You're like a ball and chain. And I'd have bagged that wild boar too if it weren't for you.
Well...
And none of the rest would have happened. I wouldn't have been showered in shit.
Oh, come on, Capon.
Don't you cape on me. Not another word. I have to consider what to do next.
Right, ladies. Time to go home. But I swear to Christ, if I catch you again, I'm gonna skin you both alive.
Isn't that?
Otto.
Hey! Open Bogo!
Oh, shit. Right, where were we? Go on, get out of my sight.
What are we gonna do? You can do as you like. You can go and carry sacks or dig latrines. I'll look after myself. I'll go and see Lord von Berghoff at the wedding. I bid you farewell.
Oh. Yeah. If I were in your shoes, I'd be glad to be rid of the good for nothing, eh? Yeah. All right, off you go.
Well, come on. I don't bite. You don't look like you're in a rush anywhere.
What do you want from me?
I don't want anything from you. I should actually be thanking you.
Uh-huh. For what?
I've been begging for alms here for days, but I didn't make any real coin till today. And that's thanks to you. The scene you made brought out nearly all of Troskowitz.
You're welcome. At least it was good for something.
Oh well, not many people can make such a strong first impression. But look on the bright side. Now things can only get better.
Good day. God be with you.
Yes, you're probably right. It doesn't get much worse than that. Unless somebody tries to kill me. Again.
You're still alive in one piece. It's a new day and the sun is shining. Like Tomcat always says, bruises build character.
Hey, you. What's your name, anyway? What do you do?
I'm Bara. Just Bara.
Looks like you know your way around here pretty good. You're from here, right?
I ain't. I'm...
You're something like a wanderer.
Nah, I usually find work with someone, stay for a while, and once I save a bit, I move on.
Then why are you begging here?
Sometimes I collect herbs for the apothecary or help in the tavern, but I'd like to go somewhere else, so I'm scraping up whatever I can. But on the whole, you could say I'm a traveller or a nomad, but don't say it too loud. The locals don't take kindly to them.
Why?
Because they're different, and it scares people. They travel from place to place and take their home with them.
I'd like to see what their homes look like.
You can go and see them, just don't stare too long.
Where are you headed? If you're only passing through here.
For work. To the city. I'm tired of serving. They all promise the moon, but then you're eating stale bread, cold with the city folk. It's bound to be better.
You said you were going to a city. You mean like to Prague?
I'd like to go to Prague, but I don't know anybody there. In Kuttenberg, at least I...
Aha. So you're going to visit her?
Well, she doesn't know it, but I won't be troubling her long. Just until I find a...
Why exactly are you helping?
Why? Why? Because I've been in the ship plenty of times, and I know how a
What do you want to do in the city?
I'll find something. I'm not afraid of work.
Don't get your hopes up. The city can...
You mean they don't hand out groschen by the bucketful? On the streets, I appreciate your concern, but I have to get to this.
Do you know anything more about Tomcat?
They say he's a master swordsman.
How does he show off for the...
With his muscles. He ricks logs with his hands. He even But to be fair to him, he sometimes... Stanislav's sheep fell into a pit one time.
And Tomcat pulled it out?
And, not just that, he crawled down to get it. And when he found the poor thing had a broken leg, he carried it on his back all the way.
Where might I run into Tomcat?
In the camp by the tower. That is, by Rock Tower.
Should I watch out for them?
No, I don't think so. They try not to stare too hard and hold your tongue, otherwise Tomcat will...
Do you think Tomcat might teach me a few...
No offence, but...
I don't want to pull wagons, but if he can handle a weapon, I'd be happy to train a little with him.
Well, one of the guys...
Well, sure. If he's that strong, I'm not surprised.
More like some trick he's got that our watch doesn't know.
I'm practically naked. Nobody's gonna...
At least you're not walking around bare-assed. Although that might not be as...
Ah, very funny. I'd rather you...
And what do you have in mind? Brocade and satin, a monk...
What armour are you talking about?
Oh, nothing. It's just a local legend. They say a famous knight lived here who killed a ferocious lion and saved a many-headed dragon. Or the other way round. It doesn't matter. I don't even know.
And is the armour real?
Maybe. Maybe not. Geibel, the scribe, might know something about it.
I'd prefer something a little more ordinary.
After what you did here with that friend of yours. Even the but between the two of us, it's easy enough to scrap.
Thanks, but I'd rather get my clothes honestly.
Well, I'm not pushing you, just giving you a...
I have no money. I might as well beg on the village green like...
The hell you will. This is my... Here you go. I'll skip supper. It's...
Wow.
Yeah, don't start crying.
Damn. I could use a horse.
Don't exaggerate.
Still, it would be...
There's a stud farm in Semin.
And which way is Semin?
Southwest from here, not too far. There's a road go... Once you see the walled farmhouse, though I'll be a queen before you can afford a...
Do you know where I might find accommodation?
Betty in the tavern lets people sleep in the hay. But you have...
I'm not going near that tavern. I'd catch hell.
If you find some work, maybe...
My main concern is getting to that wedding in Semin.
Well, yeah. People are talking of nothing else. The Lord's...
How much time do you think I have?
From what I hear, the bride's dress still ain't finished and blacksmith Radovan still ain't started smithing. So, no rush.
Hopefully by then I'll find a way. Oh well. It was nice to meet you.
Don't worry, you'll manage.
Isn't it a sin to walk around naked like that, friend?
I heard you could use a helping hand at the forge.
I could. My last two hands, well, they're not worth mentioning. And what with the wedding coming up, the work is piling up. Ah, what do they call you?
Henry.
I'm Radovan. You should know, Henry. The blacksmithing isn't for everyone. Have you done it before?
Yeah. I basically grew up in the forge. My father was a swordsmith, and not just any. He even forged swords for the nobility.
For the nobility, eh? Well, that kind of experience will come in very handy for me indeed. As it happens, I have to forge a wedding present for young Lord Semin. A fine sword.
So you'll take me on?
Hold your horses. I'll have to try you out first. You could forge me a hunting sword as a test, so I can see if you can make a straight blade. That shouldn't give you much trouble if your father was a swordsmith, should it?
Sure thing. I can get started right away.
Great. Find some iron and get started then.
Iron?
You can't make a sword out of butter, but if you don't have your own stuff, you can get everything from the chest in my forge. Go over to the anvil and let's get started.
Quick!
Oh, fuck me.
What?
Are you gonna get started then? Furnace is cold now. Give it a practice try. Some things, like swords, are too long to fit in the fire. You have to heat it up, bit by bit. Try poking it around for a bit. Come on, Henry. I don't have all day. Now get the furnace nice and hot. There's a lever above you. Give it a pull. It works the bellows. Tell the temperature by the colour, but you won't be able to tell what's in the fire. You have to take it out from time to time to take a look. Try it out. See? That's exactly the straw colour we want. You've got talent, lad. Now heat up the whole thing. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Try moving the sword along the anvil so you can get the hang of it. Now take the hammer and try hitting it a few times. See the sparks? That's the sign of a good strike. The more sparks, the better. Also, you can hammer with different degrees of power. A stronger hit will do more, but it'll tire you out faster. Try giving it a few blows, as hard as you can, so I can see how strong you are. That's got a nice ring to it. Of course, if it was all about hitting an anvil with a hammer, any dolt could do it. You've got to hammer the workpiece evenly. One hit next to the other. Very nice. You're doing just fine. But when I say evenly, I mean it. A sword has two sides, like a lot of other things, including myself. Turn it over and continue on the other side. Nice. Now try forging it on both sides. The closer it is to being finished, the more it will take on the shape you want. It'll cool off soon anyway. It's cooled now. You can't do it all in one go. You've got to put it back in the furnace from time to time. Sometimes you've got to go there and back all day. but it's all part of the craft. Now, get back to the forge and heat it all up again, like before. The whole thing is heated up now, so come over to the anvil. Hear that? Besides the sparks, you can tell a good strike by the sound it makes. Sparks! That's the stuff. See how it's taking on the right shape? That's how you can tell it's almost finished. Now, I've got a piece of advice for you. Hammer to a rhythm. When I hammer a piece to a beat, the work... There you go! You've got it finished! All that's left is to temper it, and the sword will be done. The rest is just tweaking.
Did you hear about what happened at the big wheel?
Right. Let's have a look. Very nice work. Your father taught you the trade well.
He'd certainly be happy to hear that.
If you carry on hammering as well as you did today, you've definitely got a job here. Even so, keep in mind, it's all about making sure every strike does its job. That's why you can't let it get cold, or keep striking the same spot. If you work evenly, each strike falling right next to the last one, you can't go wrong. Got that? Or is there something else you want to ask about?
What good does it do me to whistle while I work?
It makes you work to a rhythm. You won't...
How do I know a good strike?
By the sparks that fly up. It rings out with a different sound.
What's the right way to heat?
Do it till it turns the color of straw. The main thing is, don't work it, but don't overheat it either. As soon as sparks...
Why should I fall?
If you keep hammering the same but jumping from one end to the other, the best thing to do is...
How will I know it's fit?
Notice the shape. The closer you are...
Thanks.
You can sleep in the chamber by the woodshed. And there's a chest where you can keep... And of course, you can use the... Any questions?
Where can I...
You can buy some essentials from me. But if you want to make a fancy sword with lots of ornamentation, this is just a village, you know. The locals ain't...
What can I do with...
Well, you can sell them. Though you probably won't have much luck around
Where exactly is my bed?
at the side of the house. There are 2 doors and a wheel, and you can put your things in the chest there. Don't worry.
What now?
What do you think? You're not going to be idle. I'll find you some work to... You're pretty good at swords, but what the locals really need is... Right. Here are some simple drawings that show you can get down to it.
Just like that?
Sacre, lad. I chose you because you already know a thing or two. You take care of these smaller jobs. Forge away as long as you're able. Once you've made some coin and feel like being out in the open again... What are you here for, friend?
There's a couple more things.
Ask away.
Thanks. I'm still not really sure of myself in the forest.
Why not? Why don't you forge me another hunting sword?
Yeah.
Let's see what you...
I hate sleeping.
I'm always hitting the same place. That's no good.
What a day. Christ almighty.
Good. That looks finished.
I went to see my brother, and to talk about the inheritance. But your father... Rules on William. He gets this feeling that his time nearly up. Does he get it often? Nearly all the time. And he's always threatening to leave everything to the church if I don't go and see him. Aye, once old folks start getting soft in the head.
What would you like? It's about those two idiot hands of mine, Venser and Franzi. They drove off with...
Do you want me to find them?
Just so. But more importantly, I want to know where my cart ended up.
Have you any idea which way they might have gone?
There's only one road to Semin that can take a cart, but I've got a bad feeling they got up to no...
Those two hands of yours,
Can't tell you much. They're wandering... I don't think they wanted to stay here with me for long, but these...
Were they suspicious in any way?
No, they worked hard. They ain't no slackers.
What was the cart carrying?
Bugger and bollocks. All sorts of stuff. There were some hunting swords, bastard swords, crossbow bolts. I also fixed the trigger and some kitchen stuff. There's a good month's work in that cartload.
All right.
Go ahead. And if you find that...
Gladly. What do you have for sale?
Oh, greetings. Where are you heading, laddie?
Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you heading, laddie? Where are you
I need to get to Semin.
Then you're headed in the opposite direction of that.
What barn?
There's an old abandoned barn. Some vagabond is camped there. I've tried to have a word, but the bastard came. That's why I warn passers-by, so they don't come to know.
Thanks.
Good day. What can I do for you?
So I says to him, "No, father, I haven't been fornicating. I've just been loving my neighbour."
Hey! You alright there, laddie?
Oh, you should have seen him. He went as red as a cardinal's hat. Aye. Hey, servant, bring some wine.
Me? I'm not a servant.
Oh, I know. Old Samin is saving supplies for the wedding later. But you didn't need to bother your wee head about that.
Look, I'm not from here.
Oh. I didn't give a fuck what you're frae. You speak our language, do you not?
Well, Yurko, seems to me this fella doesn't know how to behave toward his betters.
The old man's hired hands are lacking in manners. We'll soon fix that. Prepare to fight. That was something. Come on. Oh, you wee
What in the devil's name is fucking going on here?
What do you think's going on, Grandad? I'm teaching your people here how we do things.
Grandad?
Why, Grandad? An old captain like you probably still remember the flood.
True enough, Yurko. I am old. And I remember all sorts of things. Like you. When you were a little nipper running around here bare arse, with a ribbon in your hair, screaming out how you was Princess Sophie. Poor lad, hadn't a moment's peace from his big sisters.
What about that wine?
Who in God's name are you?
Henry. The Takoff blacksmith sent me. Radovan.
Blacksmith, eh? Then you'll have some explaining to do. Come along and never mind that fool Yurko. Young Samin's getting married, so we has to put up with his kin from Moravia.
We'll be needing a dozen geese. And I must tell Vashek to get 3 pigs ready for slaughter. And the carters will have to be sent to Yetchin to get at least a peck of poppy seed for cakes. And gingerbread spices. Oh, and wine, too. It's almost all gone, what we bought only last week.
Enter!
Sorry to intrude, sir. This is Henry, blacksmith Radovan's hand.
Oh, excellent. Dorothy, leave us now. Just make sure that there's plenty of everything so long as it doesn't cost too much.
But, sir...
Not another word! Leave us! So Radovan sent you alone. Who's going to unload it all? It's a whole cartload.
Yeah, Radovan sent me, sir, but not with the goods. The thing is, he's missing his cart, along with the carter in his hands.
What? But they never came here. Are you telling me they got lost?
I couldn't tell you what happened to them, sir, but it's my job to find them.
There are all sorts of vermin roaming the countryside.
Oh, no
so...
need to imagine the worst right off, gnarly. Anyway, I need the load from that cart, so saddle up your old nag and we'll ride out, Captain. I could do with a breath of fresh air. I've had it up to the eyeballs with counting geese and pies.
What about Henry here, sir?
Well, what about him?
We could use an extra pair of hands. You know how my shoulder's acting up. Yurko is shit-faced, and your son...
The older has work to do. All right, take Henry with you if you want. Just so long as he doesn't slow us down.
Thank you, sir. So, lad, you're going with us. I hope you're happy about it.
Yeah. I'll be glad to help you.
Oh, you reckon we can't manage on our own?
No, that's not how I meant it.
Take it easy, son. I'm only yanking your pizzle. By the way, the fellas at the gate say you came here on foot.
Yeah, I did.
Christ above! And how are you going to ride with us? On the back of my saddle? You're a bit big for that, ain't ya? And I'm a bit too old.
You got a stud farm here, don't you? Couldn't I borrow one of your horses?
Aye. And then we'd never see hide nor hair of you, nor the animal again. We don't lend horses. But you're in luck. Our groom brought in a grey nag not long ago. Tell him you've got to ride out with us, and he'll give it to you for a decent price.
All right. Thanks.
Well, that should be that. Unless you've got any more questions.
Actually, I'd like to...
Wouldn't we all, lad?
Well...
Son, I don't know if you're sick. Anyways, you'd rather have... Stick with him. They're Lord Samin's kin.
Only they're from Moravia. So they're...
But what can I tell you, lad? Each to himself. Besides...
And you, sir?
Well, son, I wonder if I haven't made a mistake about you.
No, I just meant, what exactly is it you do for...
I'm the captain here, and I'm sure I don't have to tell... As for my name, it's a nickname Lord Samin's grandpa gave. When I joined his service as a young fella, I took my gnarly club with me. Wouldn't use it. I was used to it. And more than once helped me to... I broke many a hard skull with it. And it's still in one...
You're lucky you didn't turn out to be...
Or Captain Headcracker.
We should probably get going.
That we should. But it's getting pretty late. We need... Come back in the morning and we'll see. If you want, stay here. You'll get... Where will we start searching, sir?
If they drove out of Kharkov and headed towards us, they had to pass through Troskovich.
Right, sir. You keep up with us, son. Right, sir. You keep up with us, son. Troskovich ain't far, but it seems there's fellas vanishing on the way.
Very good, Captain.
What do you think about it, Captain?
I know you told me not to jump to any conclusions, sir, but I can't help myself. Someone's running rampant around here, sir.
I know who's running rampant. Yurko in the cellar. We're out of wine again. I knew this wedding wouldn't be cheap, but I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. And the bailiff, the bride's father, you'd get more blood out of a stone than coin out of him. And then he behaves like I shit golden eggs just because I'm a noble. Even though he's got more coin than me.
Such are the times, sir. But that Yurko, He's going too far.
You know how those Moravians are. It's in his blood.
Aye, I noticed. But they're getting too much to handle. Him and his cronies. They started on young Henry, soon as he set foot on the courtyard.
What? Is that true, Henry? Cat got your tongue? I can understand that. So how did this little brawl of yours end up?
I'll say it for you. Henry got his arse kicked. You know Yurka's as strong as an ox.
And why wouldn't he be, with all he eats and drinks? But what can we do with you, Henry, if even a drunken Moravian brawler can beat you? We could get into all sorts of tricky situations along the way.
That's true, Henry. But there's something we can do about that. I think Lord Sameen here could teach you a thing or two.
Yeah, why not? What do you say, youngster? Fancy a bit of training?
It would be an honor, sir.
Excellent. Not afraid, eh? That's what I like to see. There's an abandoned pen along the path a bit. We'll stop off there and see what you're made of.
All right, sir. If you'll excuse me, I'll explain some things to the youngster here first. Wouldn't want no accidents happening.
So, we're here. Gnarly, tell the youngster here what's what.
All right, son. You're going to fight Lord Sameen. It'll be an honorable fight, so you better act accordingly. Hold on, Mo. I'll give you some gear for it.
What weapon will you give me?
What would you like?
Sword?
Don't get ahead of yourself, laddie. A sword belongs in noble hands. You can have my cudgel. It might be just a stick, but it's my stick, so careful with it.
Thank you, Captain.
Save the thanks, and get your eye.
So, young'un, are you ready?
All right, let's do it.
Jesus, I'm hit!
What do you say, son?
You really gave me the runaround.
I'm no spring chicken, but I'm as spry as ever.
That's true. And you handled this too, sir. Anyways, you can keep that old junk, Henry. Even my cudgel. But take care of the old fella. He might be just a piece of wood, but he saved my arse more than once.
I will, Captain.
I needed that. It's good to stretch the limbs every now and then. Don't worry about losing, lad. You've got some talent, I can tell. You should come to the courtyard and Gnarly here will give you a good education in the art of the sword.
I call it the art of not getting skewered as soon as you step foot outside the village. But, dude, we've got a nice arena in Sameen. It ain't no abandoned pig pen.
You can't always choose your battleground, Gnarly. Whether it's a pig pen or an arena in Karlstein. It's the performance that counts. And while we're on the subject, where are you from, lad? It's clear you're not from Trotsky. A silent stranger. Well, well.
So, we're in Troskowitz. What now, sir? Should I go to the bailiff and ask if he might have seen someone?
Well, that makes sense. But the young fella here should do it. If the bailiff sees you, he'll guess I'm in the village and come and bother me. And I'm really not in the mood today for any bombardment of complaints.
I understand, sir. All right, Henry. Run along to the rat house and inquire about that wagon.
And Henry, not a word about me. Are we clear?
As you wish, sir.
Good day to you.
Master Bailiff, can I ask you about something?
Ask away, by all means. Wait now, aren't you that lad who's helping Radovan in the forge?
Yeah, that's me.
I heard his hired hands went missing.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm here.
Ah, I was thinking they were driving awful fast with that cart.
You saw them?
I did, a few days back. They raced through the village in the early evening so fast, they were dropping sacks of charcoal.
Where were they headed?
Towards the east, to Apollonia on the road to Yichin. And you're looking for them?
I am indeed.
I'm glad to hear it. I heard there were goods for Semine on that cart, and I can do without that kind of trouble now, on account of the wedding, you know?
It seems you have a lot of concerns with that wedding.
Of course I do. I'm the father of the bride, after all. Lord Semine would be happier if I paid all the bills and left all the who's invited, what there'll be to eat and drink, entertainment, everything.
I understand. But isn't it just that the
That's not it. I'll tell you what it is. It's only I've got coin. While he's trying to keep the wolf from the door in that piddling estate.
You're right, Master Bailiff. Don't worry, though. People will find out.
Let's hope. More like that old miser will go around saying the opposite and put me to shame.
I don't think Lord Semine would do that. Do you know anything about Radovan's?
Only what I've told you. But to tell you the truth, I wouldn't.
Why's that?
Well, that pair have mischief in their eyes.
That'll be all.
Well then, young man, how did it go?
They were spotted here, sir. Going to the east, towards Apollonia.
So to Yitchin? The bastards! And what about my goods?
Oh, they were driving so fast, it was falling off the cart.
The thieving scum. Let's hurry. To Yitchin!
Sir, I can send a message to the Yitchin captain of the guard.
Oh, it'll take too long. We'll go and get them ourselves.
Won't you be missing preparations for the wedding at home, sir?
I will. Praise Lord Jesus Christ. If I... have to choose between riding to Yitchin and this horribly endless passage, I'll take Yitchin any time. Besides, there's a nice inn along the way with 3 cats. We can spend the night there.
I remember that place. I'm not sure, sir, if they'll let the two of us set foot inside the door.
Oh, gnarly, that was 15 summers ago. God knows if the place is even still standing.
True. Still, we'd better keep our eyes peeled. They might not have gone to Yitchin. They could have turned off somewhere. Or something could have happened. They might have been ambushed, maybe.
Will you give over with that? I'll bet my braves they weren't ambushed. More likely we'll find them boozing at the 3 cats.
That'd surely be the best outcome, if that old dive is still standing. Let's go, then. So, St. Anthony, which way now?
While you're praying to the patron saint of lost things, go and have a look along the road, gnarly. And you, Henry, have a look to the left.
All right, sir. But don't forget, my eyesight ain't what it used to be.
Well, that's what we have the youngster for, isn't it? Off you go.
A sack of charcoal? That could have fallen off the cart.
You found anything, lad?
There's a sack of charcoal lying in the ditch to the left of the road. The bailiff said they were driving like the devil, so maybe it fell from the cart.
Oh, that makes sense. To the left it is, then. Gnarly! Back here!
We're getting close. I can feel it in my bones, sir. You'll have the car back in no time.
I just hope we find the horses, too. Yarmilka here ain't the youngest, and I wouldn't want to drag it back home myself.
A nobleman in harness. We ain't ever had such a spectacle in these parts.
You might get to see it soon enough. The lords in this country have all gone to the dogs. Every lowborn with a bit of coin builds a house in Gutenberg, while we live in squalor. Why do you reckon that is, lad?
That's a tough question, sir. But nothing happens on God's green earth without his will. If that's the way God wants it, there's nothing you can do.
None of this would be happening if we had a king. And I mean a real one, not Wenceslas or Sigismund. Oh, anywhere that's not ruled by a strong hand, all sorts of things go wrong.
Especially when you've got Moravian relatives eating you out of house and home.
Oh, hold up. This is strange. I don't see any cart tracks. What do you reckon, Gnarly?
I'm blind as a mole, sir. But it's all peculiar, right enough. Where the hell could that cart have vanished to?
Well, that's just it. They had nowhere to turn off.
I'll look up the road a bit. And you, Henry, have a look back along the road. Maybe it fell in a ditch somewhere. Who knows?
Very well, sir.
blacksmith's cart. And someone went to a hell of a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Hey! I found the blacksmith's cart! Come here!
Well, now, here we have it. The blacksmith's cart.
And someone went to a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Of course, the goods are gone. The bastards hauled it off to the rocks. That's clear. Well, we can't let them get away with it. We'll carry on, but on foot. My old young milker would only break a leg there. And keep a sharp lookout. Something stinks here.
I told you. They got ambushed by them bastards that's on the rampage around here, sir.
Oh, be quiet. We still can't be sure of anything.
Ah, Apollonia. I spent a lot of time running around here as a young lad.
Oh, not me. This place always gave me the shivers.
God's truth, I ain't got only good memories of it. One time, got my leg stuck in a crevice a bit further on. Trapped there all night I was, shitting myself with fear. It wasn't till morning that the folk from the fortress found me. The whole of Samine was out looking for me.
See, at least you came here as a kid. It still gives me the creeps here.
Why is that, sir? It's just some rocks, ain't it?
You'd sing a different tune if you'd had the rope maker's wife as a nanny when you were little. Now, she had some tales about this place. Headless horsemen, goblins, and white ladies. Every night, we'd gather by the hearth. The old woman would sit at her spinning wheel telling stories. I'll tell you, Captain, there isn't much I'm afraid of. But when that blind old crone was croaking her tales of devils and holes to hell, with the fire crackling and the wind whistling outside the windows, and the whirring of the spinning wheel, oh.
It's true about them devils, sir.
Shh. Wait a moment. Do you hear that?
I do. There's somebody there, sure enough.
Let's get closer.
I was ordained, you ignoramus. You would never order.
What do we do now? I heard more than two voices.
I used to clamber around here as a young lad. The girls from Slatigo used to come make a fire here and jump over it. And so's their underwear wouldn't catch fire. Sometimes they'd take it off.
That's nice, Gnarly, but I don't think it's scantily clad maidens we'll be running into here. So what's that got to do with anything?
Well, there's a nice view into the gorge from up there. We only have to go back a bit, and we can get up there nicely.
Right. Henry, what are you waiting for? This is just the kind of thing we took you along for.
Sure, sir. With a bit of luck, there might be some girls there, too.
I could do without girls with voices like that. Now get going.
Pigs can fly, and Gauze's name is really something. For a wench, he's got a miserable pair of tits on him. You don't say. You
Those
really saw
definitely aren't
that?
the blacksmith's hands.
I'm not kidding. Honza, tell him I'm not having him on. You saw it too.
True. He ain't yanking your piddle. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. She had one different than the other. All right.
So how's it look, Sonny? How many?
I saw 3. And they don't look like Radovan's hands.
And what about my goods?
I didn't see them. It looked more like a patrol. I reckon there might be more of them hereabouts.
Seems we can't avoid a fight. I hope you're ready, Henry.
Sure am, sir.
Just watch and don't get your arse kicked like during training. So, how are we gonna do it? Do you just want to charge them, sir?
What else do you suggest?
Someone could go back up top and try to take one of them down with an arrow before we charge them. There's a good view of the camp from up there.
Good idea, Henry. And I see you're equipped for it too. Climb up top, and as soon as you shoot the first time, we'll charge them. And make sure you don't hit one of us.
Right you are, Captain.
Don't start this. I'm trying to tell a story for amusement, not listen to your supposedly educated claptrap. Have you forgotten? I was 14, you ignoramus. For fuck's sake, you was never ordained Honza. I was. Stumbled in it, in the forest chapel by one of them. Right, fuck.
You'll be fucking sorry.
That hit home.
That weakling was useless. Oh, that's a lot of blood. This should stop it.
Hey, Henry.
Oh, this day took it out of me, and no mistake.
And it ain't over yet, sir. Your goods ain't here, and none of them bastards look like the blacksmith's hands. Am I right, Henry?
Hard to say. I've never actually seen them. But I don't think it was them.
Me neither. But right past that peak is another good camping spot.
You think this was a patrol?
It makes sense. But I don't want to go assuming the worst. We might have just run into them bandits by chance.
Yeah, well, you were right, as always. Let's go, then. Are you ready, Henry?
Shouldn't we send for reinforcements?
Who would we send for? By the time...
Don't worry, lad. This scum is no...
Hurry up, lad.
We can get going.
That's just grand. Let's go, then.
I thought we had everything clear, Venser. You tried to fuck with me, so until we ride out, you're gonna stick right there and keep your mouth shut.
We did everything you asked. We got the blacksmith cart and the goods.
Horse shit. You tried to fuck me. That bastard cousin of yours owned up to it.
It was his idea. I wanted nothing to do with it.
Make no difference to me, Venser. You vouched for the crooked fucker. So now, it's on you. Actually, you could consider yourself lucky. If you hadn't saved my ass that time in Colleen, I'd have goat ear skin you alive.
Bastards. You can't trust anyone in these parts. Get ready, Gnarly. We are going to parley.
Like that time at the Shani, sir?
Yes, exactly.
Only there was more of us that time, and less of them.
Oh, don't worry, there won't be a problem. They're just common thieves. Besides, I'll take young Henry with me.
What, me?
And if they're still feeling brave, you get to try out that new plaything of yours. Ahem, gentlemen. I'm obliged to you for looking after my goods, but I'll take them back now. Just hand them over, and I'll let you go.
Oh, you must be from Samin, sir. Well, of course you can have everything back. Just as long as you ask nicely, eh? Well, how about we do things differently? You lay down your weapons, and we can all have a nice little chat. I mean, I don't intend to go murdering local lords. I just want your coin.
That's very noble of you, sir.
What are you gaping at? At them!
I'll kill you. Hammer them, men! He's got no chance alone!
We'll finish this quickly. You'll be sorry, fucker.
Get ready to leave this life!
Fucking
You can't stand up to this!
Hey, get him! Take that. Right, he hit the ground.
Nice strike.
Kill him!
Good. I still can't quite do that.
Slice him up! This has been going on too long. They got what they deserved, the fuckers. Henry! Hey, Henry! Are you listening? Come here!
Oh, do be quiet.
What now?
One of them bastards fled into the rocks. Chase him down and bring him back.
Did you see which way he went?
No, I had other things on my...
I'll go and track him.
Great.
I've got you now, Venser. You've nowhere to run to. Yield.
Well, why the fuck would I? It's just you against me. Besides, if I do yield, it's the rope for me anyway.
Who knows what they'll do to you?
For robbing Semine, that old miser. He'll have me strung up from the nearest tree.
If I were in your shoes, I think I'd go for the...
How would you know? Although, to come up with something that stupid...
Well, come what may. Anything can happen.
Sure, I'll get out of it, and I don't have to be the one who falls off the cliff.
One-on-one, yeah. Even if the noose is waiting for you, it's still a more pleasant death than getting your head smashed in with a rock.
You never know what might happen, friend. Much bigger and stronger, so I'll take my chances with...
Can't you think of any other way out of...
Well, you could let me go.
Why would I?
Maybe for coin.
Now keep your damn coin. You won't yield!
Oh, I told you.
All right.
You're in for an arse kicking, you piece of shit! Oh, fucker. Oh.
I had to kill him, unfortunately. He refused to surrender.
Don't feel bad about it, lad. He'd have swung anyway.
What about Gules?
He caught a few good hits, but he's alive. We'll take him with us. You did a good job, youngster. And so you don't say I had you clambering over these rocks for nothing.
Thank you, sir.
Don't thank me, you deserved it. And now, let's get that accursed cart back to Sameen. We'll go via Troskovitz. We can drop you off there. You ought to report back to Radovan as soon as possible.
What's going to happen to that?
We'll see. He was tied up and he swears he's innocent. I'd like to find out what actually happened.
Could you wait a while?
All right, but make it quick. I was happy to get out of Sameen for a while, but...
Is that offer of a ride still open?
Sure.
A ride would be great. My legs are sore.
Wait until you're my age.
I didn't do nothing wrong, I swear. It's all Vence's fault. It was him who said we'll sell the car to Gules.
Shut up, Francie. You both told me you'll bring me the cart, and then you try to fuck me over.
A thief robbing a thief. What a world.
I'm still a nobleman, if you don't mind. So I'm not a thief. I'm a robber baron.
A thief's a thief.
Where are you taking us?
To Sameen, where his lordship will hear you out and decide what to do with you.
I hope you realize you can't execute me just like that.
That depends. By rights, I should send a plea to the royal court to ask if we can behead you. But in these shitty times, nobody will give a toss. And parchment's expensive. So as far as I'm concerned, I'd happily take the risk and cut your head off without permission.
I can see how much you respect the rule of law here.
You're quite the joker. Invoking the law, are you?
And what will happen to me?
If you really are innocent, nothing will happen to you.
I am. It was Venser who roped me into it. I swear on my ma's soul.
Is that supposed to soften my heart? Ha! Every good-for-nothing I dragged to the gallows swore on his ma. Nobody with any decency would risk his mother's immortal soul, even if he was pure as the driven snow. But this arsehole don't think twice about damning her. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
The captain's right. Only the lowest of the low swears on his mother.
Ain't it grand you're here to make that clear for us? Now shut it. The two of you. I don't want you poisoning the air with the shit you spout.
What's new in the county, Master Bailiff?
I heard something. Project the Innkeeper is probably coming up with some... Will they never... And now I've been visited by... He said he found more fresh graves behind his field.
What do you mean, more?
That we found someone buried here. I've been digging up bodies ever since that. Also, if it wasn't bad enough, that now someone's stealing cabbage from the...
Cabbage?
Aye, and the peasants won't stop bugging me about it. I was just visited by a peasant from Jadar. Say, do I really have to do this? Do I have... And that's about it.
I'd like to report an ambush.
That's a serious matter. Where...
Well,
I don't understand why he's not lodging a complaint himself. And why not directly at the castle. He has that right as a lord.
It's a long story. My lord got very...
Sorry, fella, but I'm not sure whether you're making it up or lying. If you were telling the truth, why don't you bring your lord here? I'm sorry, lad, but until then,
I need to speak with Sir Otto.
With the Royal Chamberlain? Are you Yankee?
Why not?
I'd like to talk to him too, boy, but he's still...
And where do I find him?
Where do you think?
But they won't let me in there.
What do you want? I'm not going to put in a word for you. I hardly know...
Excuse me. I'm looking for the man who was in the pillory with me yesterday.
I can't help you with that. You'll have to find him.
I'd like to buy something.
If it's a tradesman you're after, your best bet is to ask our merchant Jörg.
What's new, babe?
Nothing special. Fortunately, it's peaceful here, and the war has avoided us so... Well, that's how it was until
And what happened?
What do you think? It started with that nomadic riffraff, and then the wolves started to come. Oh, and then our Master Chamberlain. But that's no business.
I understand.
What did I do to you? Great. Come back anytime, friend.
So, job done. The cart was found and driven to...
Whew. That's a relief.
It turned out they tried to rob you.
Oh. They did?
Aye. They plotted with some robber baron called Gules.
The bastards. I should have realized. And how did you get the cart back?
I went to Semine, and they were wondering there too where the wagon got to. So we rode out to me, Lord Semine, and his captain, Gnarly.
Well, God's nails. And the three of you tracked them down. The whole band.
That's right. They were hiding in Apollonia, along with the cart and the...
Indeed. Where else?
Venser didn't survive the skirmish in Gules' camp. And Franzi...
I wouldn't be too sure about that. They were only here a while, but that pair was as thick as, well, thieves. And that Franzi could talk his way out from under the execute...
We'll see. Either way, it's Lord Semine.
Anyway, the main thing is the cart turn.
No doubt.
And you've earned a reward for your trouble. I've got just the thing for you. Some mercenary once had his cuirass repaired here, but never came back, so now it's yours.